Sidra, take one.
Hi, my name is Sidra, and I grew up chopping vegetables for my gran. At the time, I thought that it wasn't really anything special. I was just being really helpful. But that slowly got me into cooking, and that's a skill that I've had since I was very young. And at some point in my life, I sort of undermined that skill and thought it wasn't good enough to be a hobby of mine or something that could bring any abundance into my life. But now, 20 years later, I am looking at it from a different way. So I didn't realize then that I was actually creating a sanctuary for myself. It's a space where I could return to every time I felt chaotic and unsettled. Because every time I cook, it is a meditation for me. And it also has led me to creating one of my dreams, which is becoming a business owner, which is in the works right now. So I can say that I am an explorer of life and an up-and-coming business owner who loves to explore everything. And yeah, that's me.
So Sidra, how old were you when you were chopping vegetables with your gran?
My gran, I would say very young, because being Asian, we had to help the older people out all the time. So I sort of grew up being a caretaker of people, which now I learn it can become toxic. I keep thinking of other people before myself, which I'm also learning to slowly unlearn. Yeah. So very young. And because we're Asian, so we love to eat, there was a lot of chopping, and my gran loved to pre-chop her garlic. So I would have to mince garlic every week, and it wasn't a great experience. But now my knife skills are really great, and I'm proud of it.
And is your grandmom still with us?
No, not anymore, unfortunately.
I'm sorry.
Thank you.
What's your favorite memory of her?
My favorite memory? Okay, so the memory that's coming up now is, so my gran didn't speak any English. She only spoke Mandarin. My Chinese part of the family came here about 30 years ago to create a new life. And so when I was finishing primary school, beginning of high school, during exams, I would come back early. And my gran and we would watch The Mentalist, because it was an episode or two every day. But she didn't know she knew everything that was going on, but she didn't understand the language, which I always found fascinating. And now, right now in this moment, I'm actually rewatching The Mentalist, which is crazy. But that was my favorite memory, watching English shows with her, which she didn't understand English at all, but she knew what was going on. It was really great.
So was your gran here as well?
Yeah.
And what was it like, sort of growing up in South Africa, where did you always feel like you looked different? Were you treated differently?
Definitely. So my dad is from this country. He's local. And my mom and my mom's family is from China. I always identified as Chinese because I grew up with the Chinese side, but there was a lot of bullying at school. So I didn't grow up as a really confident person. I did always feel like I didn't really fit in anywhere. I didn't really belong anywhere. And now, as an older person, that I'm starting to learn about myself again, I realize that I actually value being part of a community and belonging somewhere and feeling included. So at least now I know how to take care of myself better than before. But back then, at one point, I even moved to America because the bullying was so bad at my school.
Wow.
But then I came back, and I'm glad that I did, because I probably would have been a different person. And even now, I'm still trying to discover who I am and what I identify as. But it's a journey, and all I can say is that I'm really grateful to be a part of this journey and to learn about myself now. I feel like people when they were younger, they probably had an opportunity to learn about themselves more. So when you grow up and you do it now, sometimes you feel like you are a little bit behind. But I guess time is just a figment of our imagination, and no one is actually really ever behind.
What's the biggest misconception about yourself that you've learned recently in all this journey? And what's the story that you've always believed about you that you've actually realized, oh shit, that's not true?
There's so many. The one thing that I can say now is that I always believed that I wasn't really capable. Maybe I wasn't brave enough, or I wasn't good enough. I wasn't smart enough to create the life that I actually want. And after all of these experiences, I'm starting to see that I actually am smart enough and I'm good enough, and I don't have to be anything else but myself. Sometimes the thoughts still creep into your mind, and it creates a lot of fear, but I definitely am more capable of dealing with managing all of those thoughts that break me down. So yeah, that's a big misconception. I actually am enough the way that I am, and I am good enough, and I can achieve the life that I want to, because I have the power to create. Yeah, and perfection isn't, it's not a requirement.
What's one thing that you're most proud of yourself? What's one thing that you could say to Sidra, shit, well done?
I would say, let me just think, because I'm so bad at, I'm working on recognizing my work or what I've done. So what can I say about myself? Well done, basically.
That you're most proud of.
That I'm proud of. Okay, I even
what are you
forgot the
proud
question.
about you?
I'm proud of not giving up and constantly taking small steps and being consistent in working on being who I know that I am already, and not to allow all the negative thoughts in my mind to take over and to control me. Yeah, I'd say that is.
So, in today's society and fast-paced moving world where we're bombarded with so much information and there's so much going on in all of our heads, when that stuff does come up for you, that negative thought, how do you calm that? Do you have any tools that you use to sort of bring yourself back to yourself?
Definitely. It's taking a long time to learn, because you keep doing the same thing and you end up in the same place, and then you realize that this is not working, and I have to put in place things that can support me. So now I do a grounding meditation every morning. I'd say I've done that consistently now for 2 months, so I'm very happy about that. So meditation and journaling, because at this moment I also have a lot of challenges with my gut and my digestive system. And that also has a lot to do with my inability to process the happenings of life and digest everything that's going on. So journaling is really important for me, that I've taken a really long time to actually create into a habit. And now I can say that it's settling into one of the things that I have to be consistent with, so I don't end up spiraling at some point. And also spending a lot of time in the sun and focusing on what I actually want to do rather than what I can do for other people all the time.
And then lastly, do you have a favorite quote or mantra that you could share with us?
Okay. I think I have to think about that for a second. I probably do, but now I feel so much pressure.
That's okay. So, for example, for me, my all-time favorite quote is, "It is what it is, not what it should be." And it took me a long time to, like, if someone had said that to me like 20 years ago, I would be like, "Oh, shut up." But I think because through my life experience, it rings so true now. So, is there anything that comes to mind that you could think of?
I would say right now I'm like, I struggle so much with wanting everything to be perfect. And I can't do anything if it's not going to be good enough. So I'd say like, I mean, I feel like it's a cliche, but every small step counts. And it's not about like doing things perfectly or it's not even about achieving anything. It's about just being consistent with one thing, because one small thing is able to like change your whole entire life and perspective. And just to stick with that and slowly build on that, I would say that's my belief right now. Yeah.
Cool. Perfect.